let's begin classifying the image. I think we can all agree that that is probably water. I mean, if we turn that off, yeah, that looks pretty watery, isn't it? So what do we do here? Let's see, what can we get out of this? If I click on that, well, that says 27, object ID 28, class value 27. There's lots of things. Oh, great, fine. That thing would be my guess. And we can see that's also down here. Down there's the same classification. So we want that to be water. We're going to tell this that that's water. So what we do is we click on water there, and then that icon obviously means a sign. We click on there, and then we click somewhere in the image, and then that gets assigned to water. Now we can see that class 27 has become water, and it's received that color. Good. That's one step on the way. Zoom in a little closer here. There's this green color. Now if we just turn that off, well, that, yeah, if we look, there is kind of wetlandy, like that one, but here, that's actually the river. Okay, well, they apparently belong to the same class, but they don't really feel like exactly the same thing. But you know, well, all right, let's call it water. So we mark that, and we mark that, and we click on that green color there, or we can click on that one there if we want. Zoom in a bit more to be certain. Click on there. Okay, so that's water. Is it really water? I mean, okay, but it's not the same sort of water, is it? Let's add another class. So if we click on the green arrow plus there, and we can type shallow water, and it was a value, something. We'll give it that, and then it wants a color. So let's, how about that? Watery green color. Or maybe just a, what do we want? Let's just give it some colour. That'll do. There's a different blue there. Click on OK, and that, because that was where we were standing, when I clicked the plus, it ended up down there. Right, so we've got that, but which cells? It's not those. It's some of these edge ones. But where do we go? How do we know? Right, so if we mark that in there, we can see that those ones that we're not happy with, they become this. They get this bright cyan color there, and then we mark that there, click that there, and we go like that, and then they're reclassed. They now become shallow water. If we unmark that, they've got a different color. Yay! So that is the basics of how we do this. So we just mark what these are, and then click on some cell in the image to say that's typical of this particular type of surface, sort of thing. Yeah, and then you just go through all of those and reassign them. Let's just have a look. Can we find a typical urban surface? We're looking at developed, that we can call urban maybe. Those look fairly consistent. That dark colour. You can see there are many more colours associated with, but is that used anywhere else? Can we find what happens if we, what was that? I mean, you know, that's that 8 there. Is it always urban or is it always developed? Oh, that looks a bit odd. So if we go down there and we unmark that, well, I guess it's you call that developed, I suppose. It's kind of a dry surface. This is some sort of extraction, quarry perhaps. It's some kind of developed, you know, humans have been there and interfered with it, so it's not natural. So we could probably call that developed. But are we really happy with? Maybe we want to add another class, or rename that, or we can do it. But let's just, for now, let's call that developed. So I'm going to click on that, and we go mark that there, and that is now developed. Mark that. So it's now received that color, and that's how we proceed across the image. Don't make your assessment based on one particular area. Check out throughout the image, find out what's going on, because you will discover that what seems to be true in one location isn't quite as true in another location. And you're going to have to weigh these up against each other. You're probably going to want to avoid creating 29 information classes. It's probably not going to be that nuanced, and you can waste a lot of time going, which type of coniferous forest is this? It's coniferous forest. Just class it all as that. You've got 3 classes for it. That's good enough. You might want something for clear cut, perhaps, to distinguish clear cut from other types of forest, and from shrubland and herbaceous. So consider adding one of those classes. But move around the image, doing this reclass, and then once you've got everything done, you click on Next, go through the finish off the wizard, and then you will have a map of your class data. And then create a PDF to create a proper map of that with the scale bar, with coordinate grid, the measured grid, don't forget that, north arrow, and a legend showing your classes. Without the legend, who knows what's what? And a little text. A title is good. A little text explaining the methodology used, that you've used isocluster with so many classes. And then don't forget attribution. And this is not Lantmäteriet, this is not the Swedish Land Survey, this is the European Space Agency Sentinel-2 data. So they should be attributed as the source. It's your map, you've done the analysis, but for the source data behind this, ESA need to get their cred. And I think we can leave that there.